So a speaker was speaking to a room full of sixth graders, seventh graders, and eighth graders. And he asked a real simple question. He said, who here can tell me what resolve means? He looked around the room and he noticed that the room was set up with sixth graders to his left, seventh graders in the middle, and eighth graders off to the right. He looked over and he saw on the left a sixth grader jumped up with his hand up. He said, I know what that is. And the speaker said, go ahead, young man, why don't you tell us what it means? He said, that's when I make a promise to myself. And the speaker stood back. He was really shocked. He said, that is excellent. Everybody, get up and give that young man a hand. And they all got up and they started cheering for him. And they sat down. He said, you know why that young man deserved a hand? And they all looked at him like, they couldn't really understand why he deserved a hand. He said, number one, he had the right answer, and number two, he had the guts to get up and talk about it. He had the guts to stand up in front of everybody and tell people what he felt was the right answer. You see, that person did show resolve right there. He must have made a promise to himself that he would actually get up and talk. That is very powerful. So the speaker looked around and got an idea of how the crowd was really set up and whether or not they were going to be receptive to him. He asked another question. He said, tell me, who could tell me what resolution means? What a resolution means? And that's what we're going to talk about right now in the Spinato Spin. We're going to talk about resolutions. We're going to talk about your resolutions. What is your resolutions for the next year? 2020, the start of a new decade. A new decade. Everything's supposed to change. Things are supposed to get better for you, right? Well, let's see how determined you are. Let's ask a few questions tonight. Let's talk about what it takes to get that resolution done. Number one, whenever you go after a resolution, whenever you go after something that you tell yourself, whenever you resolve to do something, you got to put it foremost in your mind. And here's the other part about it too. You got to develop a reward and punishment plan so you could stick with that resolution. You see, usually what happens with most people when they do these resolutions, they quit. They quit 15 days into it. Remember, we talked about this when we were trying to sort out what our resolutions were going to be. Well, 15 days into it, they're out. Most people are out after 15 days. They can't stand it. They can't. Well, let's prepare for that. Let's say to ourselves real quick, no matter what happens, I'm going to stick to this resolution for 1 week. 1 week, and I'm going to be able to do it. And if I could do it for 1 week, I know it's huge and it's going to help me a tremendous amount. Let's have a celebration for it. Let's plan a mini celebration for it. You choose what it is. You choose exactly what's going to happen to you when you do hit your resolution. When you do part of what you said you're going to do. If you said you're going to start a resolution for something and you're going to keep on doing it and you're going to resolve, like the young man told us, what resolve means, you make a promise to yourself and you keep the promise to yourself for 1 week. Don't you think you deserve a reward? I think you do. But how about this side of it? And this makes sure you stay on the track. If you don't do it, what's your punishment? What are you going to do to yourself if you fall off? You don't stay on it. Are you just going to give up and say, oh, well, that's the end of my resolution? No. You're going to get right back up and fight again, aren't you? Aren't you going to try to do it? And if you think about it now, you'll be ready for it in the future. You'll be ready for it in the future. You see, here's the mindset you got to zero in on. And listen to this. This is very powerful. It goes like this. It goes, roadblocks, challenges, and disappointments do not define you. Okay? All right. How you respond in your response to these circumstances define you. You see, whenever you're faced with difficulty, you always make sure that you always resist the temptation to internalize the negative aspects of the situation. You always recognize and understand that you have a capacity to be open, courageous, and resilient. That's you. You're the one we're talking about now. You have that capacity and you utilize them. You utilize your openness, your open mind. You utilize your courageousness, how much courage you really have deep down inside of you. You utilize the fact that you're resilient. No one's going to put you down. No one's going to get rid of you. And you know you always have choices when it comes to any circumstances you are in. Any of your circumstances allow you to have that. Let's look at that. The past. You're not your past. Your future. You're not your future. Your present. Think about your present. Yes, you are a person living in the present moment. And let us not forget that the present is really a gift, isn't it? Isn't that why they call it the present? It's a gift. And you got to do something with it. You got to stay within the present moment. I'm here talking to you right now, and I'm thinking of all the positive things I can tell you right now. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know about your future, and I don't know about my past, okay? I don't know what my future is going to be, but I know what my present is. Right now, I'm looking into a camera, and I'm talking to you. And I want you to feel comfortable knowing that you could do it. Think about that whole concept. You're not your past, okay? You're not your future. You are the person living in the present moment. And you set up things to help you in the present moment. Like I said, reward and punishment. Great way to do it. We're going to have a party. We're going to enjoy ourselves if we make it through 1 week of the resolution we promised ourselves. And we made a promise to ourselves, didn't we, over there? The young man told us he did. The sixth grader told us we did. We made a promise to ourselves. Keep your promises to yourself. It matters deeply on whether or not you're going to stick to those resolutions. I don't know what your resolutions are going to be. You know that. I don't know how important they are to you. You know that. Draw the guidelines. Find out exactly what those resolutions will mean to you and how great it's going to feel when you go at the end of the year, at the end of 2020, and say, man, I stuck with it. It was tough, but in the middle, I freaking got caught onto it, and I'm doing something special in my life right now, and things are rolling. And I can't wait for 2021 to tear it up, just like I tore it up in 2020. Tear it up in 2020. Do the best you can. Keep yourself charging. And it's always great talking to you, Spinato Spin. And Happy New Year to everybody. All right? Take care now.